Hello, Lord Emperor here to bring you some Mass Effect lore on the return. Jack Harper awakens from a strange dream aboard a Turian starship. Jack is startled that he is aboard a Turian ship, then he discovers he is restrained. The Turians in the room tell him to calm down as the restraints are there for not only his protection, but for theirs as well. Jack then hears Ava and sees her and a Turian enter. The Turian orders Harper released from his restraints, and Ava tells Harper that both of them are prisoners and that he has been in a coma for weeks. Jack asks about Ben, and Ava says that he is dead via electrocution from the device. Ava also says that it nearly killed him as well. Jack then asks where Ben is, but Ava says that Dassault has split them up and she has no idea where he is. The Turian in the room says that whatever seemed to have happened to Ben has left him unaffected and that Harper is in perfect health as far as they can tell. Ava then turns on the Turian and asks his name. The Turian introduces himself as Serene, that Dassault is his brother, and that Jack and Ava have him to thank for not leaving them to die. Ava counters, saying that they are being taken to a prison camp on Palaven and they should be thankful. Serene, however, counters that by saying that Ava is a handful, almost killing 3 guards while waiting, and that she is mistaken about a lot of things. Jack and Ava then see that they are approaching Arcturus station, and Jack asks how long he's been out. Serene informs him that it was long enough because the war is over, and they are being taken home. First contact: war is over. Aboard Arcturus station, General Williams is greeting Dassault, or General Arterias, when he arrives in the hangar bay. Dassault says that he is sorry that he didn't introduce himself properly on Shanxi, but he was fleeing at the time and he assumed that he was busy. Williams reminds him that the Alliance retook the planet, then turns his attention to the size of his escort. Dassault reminds him that he don't know everything about the Turians, and if the Citadel Council hadn't intervened, then they wouldn't find out. Williams says that the ceasefire wasn't his idea and that if Dassault wants to fight it out, he is happy to oblige, and if that isn't the case, then he asks for his people. Dassault mentions that he is amused that Williams would trade so many Turians for just 2 operatives, and mercenaries at that. Ava then comes charging at Dassault. Jack tries to tell her to not do it, but she tackles him to the ground before being pulled off by Serene. Ava yells at Dassault for not helping Ben, but Dassault ignores it and tells Serene to be careful with her because, while humans may bark like Varon, they are fragile. Serene mentions that he had to do something because his new bodyguards weren't of much use. Dassault mentions that they have their uses, but you have to know how to talk to them. Dassault then turns to one of them and begins speaking in a language that Jack appears to understand. Dassault notices this and turns inquisitive, but then redirects his attention to General Williams. He reminds Williams that Ava's attack is a violation of the treaty protocol and that he should take the prisoners back until a higher authority can rule on the matter. Williams counters by saying that he's had them long enough and to get off the station. Later in a medical bay, Williams is talking with Jack and mentions that he doesn't know why Dassault suddenly wanted to check over Jack again. Williams also mentions that Jack has the vitals of a first-year cadet and that whatever the device did, it seems that it was harmless. Jack counters by saying that Ben wouldn't agree with that statement. Williams apologizes and says that Ben was a good kid, which he continues by saying that he left a lot of good kids down there. He mentions that now the Alliance wants them to play nice with the Turians, even though they were on the verge of winning, just to curry favor with the Citadel bunch. Jack asks if it is more aliens, and Williams continues by saying that money is doing the talking and that it is the way of the future. Cohabitation with native species that further mutual interests, is how the Alliance puts it. Williams then mentions that he is resigning, but then tells Jack that he shouldn't. Jack says that he can't, not after what he saw, and he mentions that the artifact is connected to those things he saw. Jack then says that he heard Dassault's bodyguards tell him they were called to the device. Williams notes that, since Jack understood what they were saying, maybe he can find out more and gives them leave to take his personal shuttle, if Jack can pry Ava's arms off the fuselage. Jack and Ava on Ilium. In the hangar, Ava asks why the general is giving them his shuttle. Jack says that it is his big event, says that he thought it would cheer Ava up. As the two start climbing the boarding ramp, Ava is mentioning that he hasn't flown something half as nice when Jack collapses on the ramp. Ava rushes to his side and says that she knows it was too soon to go anywhere. Jack counters that they, and he, couldn't wait any longer. He mentions that he has been having visions and headaches since he woke up. Ava asks about what, and Jack says it was about darkness, the future, and that it is all tied to that artifact. He mentions that is why he is going, to figure out what is going on. Ava, however, asks where they can go, as they don't know where it was taken. She says that they could have taken to Palaven, but they can't go there now. Jack then counters by telling her that they have to go to Ilium. After several relay jumps, Ava mentions that it don't make sense and she must have been out of her mind to go this close to the terminus systems. There haven't been enough humans that have seen Ilium to start the band. Jack reminds Ava that she thought he was dying, that he feels much better, and that if Ava wants a shot at Desolus, then this is her chance. Jack says the artifact is on Ilium, and that he can't see Desolus going anywhere without it. Upon landing in Nos Astra, Ava takes in the sights, and based on what she sees, asks how humans will ever catch up. Jack calms her by telling her to not worry about it, and that humans will have it all soon. He reminds Ava about Clarke's third law. Advanced technology only looks like magic, and if they remember that, then they have nothing to fear. Ava then asks what Jack is afraid of and why are they on Ilium, and he replies that he is afraid that some of it may be magic. Sometime later, Jack is speaking to several Asari in their native language while Ava looks on. When Jack returns, Ava asks how he can speak to them in the Asari language. Jack says that how else was he going to communicate with them, which Ava counters by saying that he should be using a language that he actually knows. Jack is puzzled for a second, and acknowledges Ava by saying that it just came to him. He don't know why, or what to do about this. Jack then points out a car and says they are for public use and that he's been itching to try a foreign model. Ava says that he should do flying this time, to which Jack agrees. While flying, Jack starts looking over the local extranet for information about the Shanxi relic. Ava asks why they wouldn't take something like that directly to Palaven, to which Jack replies that for the same reasons they kept it aboard a ship for so long. It is unknown technology and he suspects they don't know more about it than they do. Jack goes on to say that they all know it's dangerous and that Ava saw what it did to Ben. Ava then tries to talk to Jack, but he ignores her and keeps searching and says that it may be a weapon, which is why they didn't want it too close to Palaven and were taking it to Shanxi for study. Ava tries to cut in again, but Jack continues by saying maybe that is why they didn't want humans going there. Then he finds the information he was looking for and he asks Ava what she would bet to say that the Turians are looking for them. Serene and his personal husks. When they reach their destination, Ava mentions her feelings about the area, in that it is unsafe. Jack says that most of the city is under surveillance, so Desolus probably wanted to keep clear of it. Jack says that was probably so they could grab him, but he bets that he can trap one, and then find out what is going on. However, before Jack can finish his sentence, Serene ambushes them with Rizal's bodyguards. Jack pulls Eva out of the line of fire, then exchanges a bit of fire before taking cover. He is not surprised to see them, and that Desolus said they would show up. Serene mentions that Jack was affected by the Arkham monolith to a greater degree than he let on, and that they have more tests to run. Serene orders the guards to seize Jack, but he and Eva run through corridors being pursued by one of the guards. They exchange fire with it, while it returns fire by throwing items at them. Ava asks Jack what they are, but as he tries to tell her something, the guard grabs him by the neck. Ava comes around and prepares to bash the butt of her pistol over the guard's head, when Jack tells her not to. The guard's hood falls, revealing Ben, with a few enhancements. That is all for today. See you guys later.